Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Many of you got really tired of working for your boss this year. If it's time to be your own boss, look into buying your own business with Transworld Business Advisors of Lincoln. Call 402-413-1095.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
To another edition of the Big Ten Show. He's the almost famous Adam Carriker. I'm the much less famous Jeff Thurn, as we welcome you into all things Big Ten. But today it's going to be all about the football world. Right after I ask Adam about another sport, we're going to be joined today by Jerry DiNardo of the Big Ten Network. We'll chat with him about some news surrounding the realignment potentially of the Big Ten. There's more teams in the mix. Certainly, it's going to be interesting at the top with Michigan and Ohio State as the teams that need to be knocked off. We'll get to some take your pick with regards to coaches, and we'll talk about some of the agenda items for the new Big Ten commissioner. But Adam, first of all, man, how you doing today?
I am stupendously glorious. I mentioned to you right before I sat down, my head is spinning. I got a lot going on, but life is good. I can't complain. Anytime I get to talk to you, my day gets better. Anytime I get to talk Big Ten stuff, it gets better, and especially football. So my day is now glorious.
All right, good. I'm glad it's glorious. I'm happy that we get to talk to Jared DiNardo, one of my favorite people in all of football. So I'm pumped about that. Of course, he used to coach at LSU and Vanderbilt and Indiana before taking the role at the Big Ten Network. And so excited about that. But first, real quick, there were no Big Ten teams in the College Baseball World Series. Have you been watching the College Baseball World Series? My pick is Wake Forest. I'm going out on a limb and taking the number 1 seed.
Way to go there.
They came back last night and pulled off the win. I got Wake Forest winning it all. And if I had to go with someone else, I'd go with LSU because they got this pitcher dude that his name's Steins. That's going to be an apps. He could pitch today in the majors. So those are my 2 picks. I'm taking the front runners. Have you been watching any of the College World Series?
First of all, typical Miami of Florida fan, okay, because I know you love that, to take
front
the favorite. Yeah, totally. I would actually go with LSU. Pitching. Pitching is the number 1 thing in baseball. If you can hit, obviously, that's phenomenal too. But I'm going to take LSU first. Wake Forest has obviously got to be in that conversation. I watched Stanford basically outplay them early on in the College World Series, and Wake Forest still found, after a weather delay, an ugly way to win the game. So they're obviously going to be in that conversation as well. Now, I will readily admit to you, I watched more of the women's College World Series than I have the men's so far.
I watched more of the women's College World Series this year than I probably ever have in my entire life. I absolutely had a blast watching it. Oklahoma was so good and dominant that storyline is fascinating. But I'll tell you what, I live only 2.5 hours away from Omaha. I've been to the College World Series before. I absolutely love it. Actually, the last time I went to the College World Series, I didn't even make it in. It was a couple of years ago. And I went to the doorsteps of it. I had 5 tickets, me, my wife, and my 3 kids, and they were like 5, 3, and 2 at the time. It's like 100 degrees. We get to the doorsteps of the College World Series. We look up at a heap of humanity trying to go in. And I looked at my wife and I said, it's probably better that we just turn around, because if we get in here, our kids are going to be pissed off. We won't get in for the next hour. You're going to be pissed off. We're already sweating profusely. So we sold our tickets on the street and we went back and enjoyed the air-conditioned pool at the hotel. That's how we rolled on that one.
So I got a random similar baseball story. I grew up in the state of Washington, grew up 4 hours from Seattle, grew up a big-time Seattle Mariners fan, Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr., Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez, all those guys, okay? When Alex Rodriguez was originally a Mariner, when he was like 18, 19 years old, we drive all the way from Kennewick, Washington. You look on a map, right? Richland, Pasco, Kennewick to Tri-Cities, 4 hours to Seattle. The game is sold out. We end up watching the freaking game and playing the Yankees from a hotel room and then drove home.
Nice.
So not quite the same story, but somewhat similar, sort of.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So did you make a pick for the College World Series there, or did you just go? Did you jump around that?
I did say LSU because
LSU. Okay. I was so excited about my pick of West Virginia that I did. We are efforting. Excuse me.
You said West Virginia.
I know. Bobby Huggins, man, is on my mind after his tumultuous weekend, man. Dude.
What if West Virginia joined the Big Ten one day? Then we could divulge into that a little bit more.
Let me ask you this real quick before we move on. We saw it at the end with Paterno for all those reasons. We saw Urban Meyer ousted because of controversy at Ohio State. But think about college basketball, man. We have a Jim Boeheim who's spiteful on the way out. We had a Bob Knight up there in the wins list, ousted for controversy.
That's just Bob Knight, though.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And then Bob Huggins is 3rd all time on the wins list. Like, I know they're for controversy and reasons why they're fired. But doesn't it kind of suck to see some of the great coaches go out that way?
Dude, it's brutal when you put in so much time. You've had so much success, longevity, and then it ends the way that it does. And I know the Paterno thing was a completely different whole ball of wax. I get all of that. Yeah. And obviously that's a topic for a whole nother day, but that was a rough one to watch. He was there, over like half a century or something like that.
Felt like 127 years. Okay?
It felt like 4,127 years. Obviously what happened was terrible, but stuff like that is just hard to watch for the coaches, and obviously there's drama involved in some of this as well.
Absolutely as well. All right, man, let's bring in Jerry DiNardo from the Big Ten Network. He joins us now, a part of the Big Ten Show. I am Jeff Thurn. That is Adam Carriker. Jerry, man, it is great to see your face, my friend. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm having a little problem with technology, but I think I'm okay now.
Join the club, my friend.
We do this every week, Jerry, and we still have problems with technology. Yep. So no hard feelings. No hard feelings at all. First of all, man, do you even recognize the Big Ten anymore when you look at how many teams are in this conference?
Well, I guess it's never really bothered me all that much. I think all of college football obviously is changing, and I take it in stride. The Big Ten used to be 10 teams. The funniest thing was a couple of years ago when the Big Ten had 12 teams and the Big 12 had 10.
Yep.
that was a little confusing. But other than
Yep.
that, I'm good with whatever they decide to do.
Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, I was just going to say, as far as conference realignment, all sorts of rumors, all sorts of what might happen, speculation. Now the ACC has this magnificent seven teams that are trying to find what's best for them. Do you think conference realignment is done? And who do you think are the most likely teams to potentially join the Big Ten?
Yeah, it's hard to tell whether it's done. This is all about the economy, right? And this is all about making money. So if you're at 16 and you add 2 and you go to 18, if it's not the right place, if it's not the right schools, at some point you don't get your money's worth, right? I mean, where does the bubble burst? Now, I think anybody would take Notre Dame, especially the Big Ten. I think Notre Dame would be a fit. And then to make the numbers even, you could take someone else, maybe from the ACC, that would fit with Notre Dame. I think if Notre Dame stays independent, I'm not sure the Big Ten is going to be in position to expand. Guys, and Jeff, thanks for sending me the notes about some of the things we were going to talk about. All the other sports other than football is really a concern to me. I mean, the sports that play more than once a week, volleyball, tennis, or whatever that sport, whatever those sports are, and especially on the women's side, are we going to leave LA to play an away game at Rutgers, and then are the administrators going to tell us, hey, as long as you're at Rutgers, you might as well go to Maryland? And then everybody's going to say, well, what about school? Well, we'll send a tutor with you. Well, when the coach was in the home talking about the great experience and the great campus life, they probably never mentioned 14 hours on a plane and having to meet with a tutor in the Holiday Inn. So, at some point, if the money's good enough, let's be careful about all the others. Football's not a problem. They play once a week. Basketball's a problem, and all the other sports that play more than once a week. I have some concern for the student athletes, especially the ones that aren't making a lot of money on the NIL. So to me, I'm hoping that if they do expand, they kind of tell us what the volleyball player is going to do in LA when they join the Big Ten. Now, it could be East and West. I don't like East and West in football, but East and West for the other sports might be a good idea, right? And then if you do take Oregon and Wisconsin by way of example, then you have Oregon, Wisconsin, the 2 LA schools, and then the plane flight to Nebraska and Iowa, that's probably no different than the Arizona team going to Spokane. So let's make the travel no more than it's been, I guess is my point.
Jerry Denard with us from the Big Ten Network. Real quick, Adam, I want to follow up with him.
Yeah.
You went to Notre Dame, Jerry, and so is like the landscape right now probably the most prime for Notre Dame to go from independent to a conference, or do you think they're still far away from considering that?
Okay, so there's a couple things, Jeff. One is, who's calling the shots, and if the people that are calling shots are so traditionalist that they think that. Now, let's remember, Notre Dame's not an independent. They're an independent football. Okay?
Right.
They belong to the ACC. So obviously they have no problem becoming a member of a conference. But maybe there's a voice there, and I don't want to call it old-fashioned, but a historic voice that says football should always be independent. What they have said, and what I believe is, as long as they have access to the national championship, which the 12 team deal is a huge bonus for Notre Dame. They don't have a championship game. They're going to play if they're ranked 5th, they're going to play their first game on campus. So the way Jack Swarbrick has interfaced with the committee, the AD at Notre Dame, it's a sweetheart of a deal as far as being part of the national championship picture. The other thing, Jeff, the money from NBC, that was groundbreaking when they signed their own TV deal with NBC. I don't know how many years ago was that. But if the Big Ten schools are fixing to get $100 million a school in 3, 4, or 5 years, can Notre Dame afford to turn down $100 million? Now, remember, at Notre Dame, all the money goes to a general fund. The athletic department doesn't really, the athletic department has to plug in South Bend. They're not a separate enterprise on campus. So I can remember when I was playing and Notre Dame broke the bowl rule, in 71. It was before I was playing, but not much sooner. In 71, when Father Hesburgh said, we'll go to a bowl game because we're going to take that $400,000 and we're going to use it for minority scholarships on campus. So if it's $100 million, can they use it for something other than football? My guess is they might be able to.
That's going to do it for the first segment of the Big Ten Show with Adam Carriker and Jeff Thurn, joined by Jerry DiNardo. When we come back, more questions from Jeff and Adam to Jerry on the Big Ten Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V
is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore with the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E-cigs contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
I'm Chris Jackamick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Starter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. StarterHeyman.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Many of you got really tired of working for your boss this year. If it's time to be your own boss, look into buying your own business with Transworld Business Advisors of Lincoln. Call 402-413-1095.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
I feel like sometimes when we have Hall of Fames, and this is no disrespect to Frank or Gary Pinkel, who got in last year, the longtime Missouri coach. Shouldn't there be a different Hall of Fame for like Gary Pinkel and Frank Solich
Like
and
the Hall of
Tom Osborne
the
and Bob,
Hall of
you know,
really,
Bobby
really,
Bowden?
really, really,
Yeah,
good.
right. But what, like you said, the distinction usually is first ballot, or unanimous or whatever. So that's usually kind of the distinction that you can make there.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
So looking at it from the Big Ten's perspective, I actually have a two-part question. So Notre Dame, if they were to join a conference and talking about football, would they have to join the ACC since the rest of their sports are there, or could they potentially join the Big Ten? And if you're the Big Ten conference and they're going to add somebody, you mentioned Oregon, I believe Washington earlier, are those the most likely schools that they would add, or is it somebody else that might be on the Big Ten's mind?
Well, Alan, I think Washington and Oregon are the two biggest brand names left from the Pac-12. And again, we've got to think about the travel for these student athletes. So you take on Washington and Oregon, two brand names in college football. They're both doing very well now, right? And then again, the travel between, Washington and Oregon, they come down to SC and UCLA to play. They travel east to Nebraska and Iowa and Wisconsin. That's manageable. The question about where Notre Dame goes, I believe their roots are Midwestern roots. ACC are East Coast elite, if you will. Not necessarily athletics, but East Coast elite, student body-wise. I'm not sure that's where Notre Dame wants to fit, but I've been gone a long time. Maybe they do. I see Notre Dame as a Midwestern school, and I hope if they would join a football conference, it would be the Big Ten. Not because of what I do for a living. I would hope it would be the Big Ten because they've played Purdue in the past. They've played Michigan State in the past. They've played Purdue. They've played Northwestern in the past. They're playing only 5 ACC football games. I mean, it's very confusing, right? They're in the conference. They're not in the conference.
Yep.
And then their football deal is only 5 games. Well, I would suggest to you that we could find 5 Big Ten schools that they probably have played as much as the ACC schools in the past years. They're an interesting school. They always have been. They always will be.
Adam Carriker, I am Jeff Thurn. That is Jerry DiNardo. This is the Big Ten Show. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Check us out. All those places. Jerry, when it comes to a new commissioner anytime in a league, there's always going to be sort of different agendas than the previous regime. What do you think are some of the major issues that this new commissioner is going to want to tackle as he comes in and takes over for Kevin Warren?
Well, I've said enough about travel. So to me, travel for the other sports, not football, would be number one. I mean, I think TV contracts are, always going to be an issue. And all the hot buttons, the NIL. I felt like the Big Ten, because they had already signed a TV contract, and the trend of commissioners in the Pac-12 and Big 12 appeared to be people that had television background. And that contract's already been signed. So I think if the next commissioner, I think Jim Delaney did this very well. If the next Big Ten commissioner can be an expert on all of the institutions that are members, their specific culture. TV is done. Figure out the travel for the other sports, and then get on campus and get a feel for Maryland, get a feel for Michigan, get a feel for Penn State. I mean, if you haven't gone to one of the Big Ten schools, and if you haven't been on their campuses a lot, I think maybe that's what we need right now. And then when this TV contract starts to run out, okay, then throw yourself in. And I thought Commissioner Warren did a good job getting on campus to all the member institutions. And I'd like to see all commissioners do maybe more of that.
So we got some new coaches in the Big Ten this year. So you got Purdue, you got Ryan Walters, Nebraska, Matt Rule, Wisconsin, Luke Fickell. Which coach do you think has the best year one at their new school? And 5 years from now, which coach do you think will have had the most success their first half a decade with their new program?
Well, I think right off the bat, Luke Fickell takes over the best program of those three at the present status of it, even though Purdue went to the championship game last year and Wisconsin didn't. If you look, when I try to evaluate the West divisions, I look at crossovers and non-con. I mean, that's what it's all about in the Western Division. And so if you look at those two things, Wisconsin has the advantage over both Nebraska and Purdue. Alan, the long-term thing is really, really interesting because I say this all the time. If you've had greatness in your past, you can have greatness in your future when it comes to college football. Nebraska is really testing me on this, right? I mean, we're talking about a program that has won national championships in the Pac-12, the Big 8, and now they have really struggled of recent. So if you look at who could get back to their history, I think you'd have to say long-term, Alan, it's Nebraska. But that's been the toughest nut to crack. I mean, Urban Meyer goes into Ohio State and boom. Jim Harbaugh, although it took longer than we all expected, boom. I mean, you look at these historic great places. Nobody now to Nebraska's defense, nobody has switched conferences, fired every athletic director, including Tom Osborne, has fired every coach since Tom Osborne, including Frank Solich, who's a Hall of Fame coach. So, I mean, they've gotten in their own way to a lot of regard. Now, I think Trev Alberts is the perfect guy to try to get this thing straight. I mean, Matt Rule, I don't know Matt all that much, but if you look at his record, it's pretty impressive. He certainly looks like someone that has changed with the times, with social media, with recruiting and all that. I thought Scott Frost was a home run. I mean, I really did. And I
know Adam thought he was a home run too, considering he's the Nebraska alum. We all kind of thought it was. Adam was on board. I was on board. Everybody sort of thought. And it started off kind of good with recruiting, Jerry. And then, Adam and I have talked about this quite often. It just sort of tailed at the end, man. And it was sort of so strange considering the momentum right away.
So hold on 1 second.
Well, go ahead,
Alan Carriker has a question here.
Hey, Jerry, you called him Alan once, and I was laughing because it's Adam, but you called him Alan, and we all had a good chuckle about it.
It's all good, man.
No, trust us, we have fun on this show. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry, Adam. I'm on the phone. Give me a break.
Good. I'm not offended in the slightest. My last name, I've been called Carriker, Carriker, Kick a Car, Carrot Top. I've heard it all, man. Being called Alan is nothing. Okay, so
I think somebody thinking Adam.
All right, so I have one more question about Nebraska real quick, because I've said for years they've got talent. They've recruited well. They brought in talent. Now they've had a mass exodus of a lot of players transferring, but every school has. Nebraska a little bit more so than some. My question for you, Mr. DiNardo, is this. Will Matt Rule be the guy that can get them going? And I know that's kind of a loaded question. You said you don't know Matt that well, but just looking at the roster, if they have a coach who can actually build a culture and actually develop players, which he seems to be a guy who has done it in the past at tougher places, Temple and Baylor, could he be the guy that gets it going at Nebraska? Because all they've been missing is a guy to actually lead the ship, so to speak.
Okay, so, Adam, sure he can be. I'm really anxious to go to practice. One of the great joys of my life and my job is to watch practice and have an inside look at universities and meetings and everything that most people don't that do what I do. So I'm anxious to see practice. I think the timing is a little bit off, and for this reason. You look at the West Division, and you tell me Nebraska didn't have as much, if not more, than every single. I'm talking resources. I'm talking history. I'm talking talent. I'm talking about all those things. If Nebraska couldn't win the West, I mean, now what's going to happen to Nebraska is, and I haven't studied the 24-25 schedule all that much, and I've kind of been under the radar until Jeff asked me to come here today, so I haven't really. I'm not game ready. But if you look at expansion, if you look at 12-team playoff that you could lose 2 or 3 and still make the playoffs, Nebraska is still a great brand on TV. So why wouldn't you do this? Because you're not hurting your conference schools you're not preventing your conference schools from going to class. Why wouldn't you schedule a heck out of Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Nebraska, Wisconsin? I mean, and let the schools on the bottom of the conference play one another. See, I was a Leaders and Legends guy. I was so mad when they changed that. I can't stand the East and the West because it's not balanced, and Leaders and Legends were balanced, and we all panicked because the names were no good. I mean,
you're right.
It was a great concept. They took the history of the Big Ten since Penn State joined it, and they took the 4 best and split them in each division, the 4 middle, the 4 bottom, and they gave everyone a chance to be upward mobile. It was great. It was a great concept, but we had to focus on 2 bad names, and so my point is, Nebraska had its chance in a West where they had more resources than everybody else and a better history. Now they're going to get killed with the schedule. I mean, I think 24-25's out, but if I'm looking at $100 million per school in a couple of years, Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State, Nebraska, Wisconsin, it's going to be like the NFL. I mean, it's going to be tough schedule for those guys.
That'll do it for the second segment of the Big Ten Show. Jeff Thurn, Adam Carriker, and Jerry DiNardo. When they come back, they'll ask their last couple questions to Jerry and get on with their Big Ten Show right here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Problem gambling affects more than the gambler. It affects spouses, children, extended family members, and friends. If you are a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 476-2300.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at garnerindustries.com.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
All right, Jerry, I'll get you out of here on this one. The odds are out. Of course, they're out in Vegas with regards to the chances to win the Big Ten. Michigan and Ohio State. Ohio State 1, Michigan 2. Are you taking one of those two schools, or are you going to take the field to win the Big Ten this year?
Okay, here's how I'm going to dodge that one, Jeff.
Oh.
No, I'm not really going to dodge it. Last fall, when we had finished the tour, I said that Michigan is as good, if not better, than Ohio State. And I predicted that we were going into the 10-year war. Now, you guys haven't been Big Ten guys all your lives, maybe. But the 10-year war, Michigan won 5-4-1. It was Bo against Woody. Ohio State always had better players. Bo always, in my opinion, had the better coaching staff. I say all that to say this. I have to see Penn State before I answer that question. But I'm going to still answer it, Jeff. But I think Penn State could be my Michigan of a year ago. I would say right now, if you look at both teams, I think Michigan's going to start the season with a better team. Here's why. Ohio State still gave up too many explosive plays. I mean, if you look at who they played when Ohio State had much better players in games last year, they won the game. But when they had to win the big games, their defense wasn't good enough. They're replacing, I think, 3 of their offensive line. Their offensive line wasn't great last year. They're playing with a new quarterback. Mm-hmm. And to some people, I think, and I haven't said this, but I've read this, that people think Michigan's a tougher program right now because they run the ball and they play better defense and all that. So I would say Michigan starts off, for me, I'd say their favorite right now. And if I had to pick between Michigan and Ohio State, I would pick Michigan. But I'm not discounting Penn State. They've been lying in the weeds. They lost 2 games last year to Michigan and Ohio State. They won the Rose Bowl. They've got a great talent coming at quarterback. I watched 2 of their offensive line recruits. I mean, I couldn't believe how good they were. I mean, seriously. And so anyway, that's I kind of answered it.
You answered it. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
you got to see, and I can't wait to watch you guys at all the campuses coming up this fall, the Big Ten, or this summer on the Big Ten Network. So I love your guys' breakdowns after you get a chance to look at them. So we'll be tuning in to all that, Jerry, and we'll talk sooner rather than later, man. Thanks for spending a little time with us today, man. It's always great to see you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, Adam. This is Gary DiNardo signing off.
I like it, dude. I like it.
Jerry, man, take care. Jerry DiNardo, baby.
That's
How about
awesome.
that, man? He is
I love
great,
that.
man. He is just a wonderful dude, and I always appreciate him coming on the show, man. He is a good dude. I've done radio with that guy many a times over the years, Adam, and his wealth of knowledge as a coach and everything else that he does, man, is just spectacular. So he's absolutely great. Listen, I told you I had 2 topics that we were going
hold
to
on, real quick. Let me just jump in real quick. So the first time he said Allen, I was like, do I say something? Do I let it go?
I thought I didn't hear it the first time.
No, I did. And then he said it like 34 more times. I'm like, okay, now I have to address it. But dude, that's what's fun though. Like, I'm serious. I've been called Carrot Top, Kick a Car, Carriker, character.
Kick a Car is my favorite.
I've heard it all, dude.
Kick a Car.
Here's the one I normally don't tell people. Carrie's crotchy was thrown in there one time. I don't know where that came from.
You know I'm gonna Carrie's crotchy. I'm definitely calling Adam Carrie's crotchy.
I should have told you that. All right, go ahead. What do you got?
I don't know if I'll ever call you Adam Carriker again. Carrie's crotchy.
Oh man, that was a mistake on my part.
I'm gonna get you a T-shirt with your name on the back. Carrie's crotchy.
Hey, merchandise ideas. Merchandise.
Amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. All right, so I got 2 topics before we get you out of here. We got to fly through them. The first one goes with what we were just talking about. This is an article from Outkick.com, but also this was from Pete Thamel. He recently reported that outside of Notre Dame, there are, quote, no programs that will be coveted by the SEC and the Big Ten, thanks to both geography and market. More. Do you want to take a guess on who those 2 teams are?
Really quick. Washington, Oregon pop into my head. Miami or Florida State. North Carolina pops into my head.
North Carolina's one.
I'm North Carolina. Okay, the other one.
Very close to North Carolina.
Clemson?
Virginia.
Okay.
Virginia and North Carolina. Okay. No other teams are more coveted by the Big Ten.
Okay. Surprised, not shocked, but surprised. Okay. All right.
Yep. Those and excuse me, and the SEC, not just the Big Ten, but both the SEC and the. So they're going to fight over them. They're going to try to come up with sweetheart deals to get them in, and we'll see what happens. And the other story that I wanted to bring up to you, Marshall Levinson is a recruiting insider and writer on 3 Sports, covers USC. He tweeted out a picture over the weekend of a recruit for USC, and they have already, as these kids go in, they take their pictures. They've already put the Big Ten logos on the jerseys, baby. I love it. Forward thinking. That's where they're going to be. Getting used to it as a recruit. You're not going to be in the Pac-12 anymore, and it looks slick, man. Like I've told you, I love Miami, but if I had to cheer for another football program, it would be USC, baby, and I can't wait, man.
Miami of Florida is an okay school. All right. I always got to put that
So is USC, ain't it? Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I saw that. First of all, it does look sweet. Number 2, how about just taking a Louisville Slugger to the Pac-10 conference and just hitting them right in the balls while you got 1 year left on your deal there?
I mean,
look, that was the other thing that occurred to me. Like, holy crap! Talk about
they've already moved on. They've already moved on, man. They're just we're here because we have to be. I'm here so I don't get. Remember Marshawn Lynch? I'm here so I don't get fined.
I love
and
it.
that's exactly what USC. I'm here so I don't get fined. All right, man.
Yep.
Jerry DiNardo, Gary DiNardo, Adam Carricrotch, Alan Carriker, whatever he's called. They call me Jeff Thurn, okay? Very simply, as another page has turned on the show. Look forward to chatting next week as well. Be well, Adam. Everybody else be well as well. We'll talk soon, y'all.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we're looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at GarnerIndustries.com.
The Nebraska Lottery presents one beautiful crazy scratch ticket and promotion. It's the $5 Living Lucky with Luke Combs scratch ticket with a $50,000 top prize. Enter non-winning Luke Combs scratch tickets for an opportunity to win a trip to Nashville, a private concert with Luke at the Ryman Auditorium, and a chance at $500,000. The Living Lucky with Luke Combs concert experience will hit you like a hurricane. Details at NELottery.com. Living Lucky with Luke Combs scratch ticket top prize odds 1 in 128,000.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna